times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you never leave. Strap my lungs, then we puffin' through with that right. But giving them some stories, they come back like manic this, manic that, why you crawling to me? The hell we gonna...
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be removing the plenum on the BMW S65, which is the S85 engine, because we're going to be changing the throttle actuators, we're going to be doing the ignition coils, and we're going to be putting everything in and sorting it all out. So the first thing you're going to want to realise on these plenums is that they've used air intakes here, which you've got to release. When you lift this up, you can't get to them without releasing that up. We're also going to take off the plastics because there's two at the back as well, which we're going to get over to. But we're going to start taking off all the air filter boxes to make a lot more room so they're ready to come off, so we can get to the Jubilee clips under here. So they'll be on each cylinder. You've got a Jubilee clip that you have to release the plenum from the throttle bodies, which all sits above here, which we'll go into in a minute. We're also going to release these hoses on the PCB at the back here, which they will just pull off with a bit of pliers and just pull them off and they will just sit off. So let's get onto it and let's get this plenum off on the E60M5 so then we can get onto the throttle bodies. So if you see here guys, the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to try and release that, which is the MAF sensor. We'll just release that over there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use this, which I just managed to get today. These are flexible screwdrivers which come with sockets, and you can also get them with other things as well, other bits if you need it, just to be able to help you. So do anything you need to do to be able to get the clamps off or anything in difficult positions, which this car is. Just taking the air duct off now, which as you see, that was coming up. So you just need to lose that clip. There. That one's off. Remember, I replaced the air filter, so we're not going to be replacing them. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is take off all the plastics. So we're just going to take this off here, that off there, and we're just going to pop the column filters, which is another thing that I replaced. If you guys don't remember, I replaced them as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to release this one as well, which is our air intake. Just Jubilee clip here. Let's clip the MAF. Takes all the vacuum lines, the coolant. That one off, as you see there. That one's now off. We're just going to release all the clips here. And then that one's out as well. So we've got that one out. So now, what we're going to end up going to do is we're going to remove these Jubilee clips underneath here. Which if any of you guys you can't see, but they're right here and they're not very tight, so you don't have to be hard on them. That's the first one already released. We're going to go over this side. Just release them as well. We're just going to apply to remove this breather hose, which is right here, like that. So that one's off. And then we're just going to carry on until we can remove all the other Jubilee clips. So as you see guys, the first part of the plenum is about ready set to come off. As you see there, that's the hose you're going to want to release. Now be careful because it will break if you're not careful with it. So you have to release it very carefully. Just got out now. For the ones at the back, you've got to be careful with them as well. Okay guys, so that's the first part of the plenum removed, as you see. So we've got that now off. So that's the first one off the car already. Now we've got to go for the second piece. So now these are the connections guys that you have to be very careful with. They sit behind here. So they're the ones you're going to have to be very careful with. The throttle bodies sit down here. So we will have to remove all these plastics. They're not hard to get to at all. We will be going to them after we get this off. So we're going to finish off getting this one off now. guys. So now what you're going to want to do is just remove these little clips at the back. There we go. And now that's the other plenum off the car. So guys, when you get your plenum off, you want to be able to check all your boots, as you see. And like I said here, this one was tightened by someone and it wasn't properly tightened because they thought they got it on the body, which they never. So that one's been sitting tight on here for no reason when it wasn't even tight on the body. So that's why this one wasn't, they weren't properly on the cylinders, all of them. So that's why they're all like that. A lot of them here have been tightened but not properly on the cylinders, even that one right there, as you'll see. And what we're going to do is when we go to put these back on, you guys need to remember you need to make sure you use like a lubricant. You don't want to be overdoing it or doing anything like that. You want to make sure you use lubricant to redo them back on, because they have got boots, as you see here, and they're going to be stiff to get back on, especially, you know, when there's no heat on the engine or anything else. So that one's okay, that plenum. Now, same for that one, you're just going to want to check around it, make sure your breathers are fine. Now I will say guys, this has got the CCVs built in, as you'll see right up here. That's the CCV for these. They're built in on the plenums, so be very, very careful with them, because if you destroy them, you will need to go and buy another one, so you don't want to end up doing that. So make 100% sure that your plenums, you don't break them by any means, because otherwise you will be in crap. You will need a whole new plenum. As you see, it's got all the breather hose, you've got a blocker tube there for it, so just make sure everything's intact. So as you see here guys, this is the whole engine bay. These are the breather hoses that run up from the electronics here. We're going to unbolt that bolt. We're going to take out all these bolts here, which are holding all the electronics on. Just take them all off and be able to get to the throttle actuators. It sits literally down here with the plugs on them, as you'll see. We're going to unbolt them both and we're going to put the new ones in. But this is how you would get to your throttle actuators. As you guys know, it's common on the S85, S65. The connecting rod's up here. You've got to be careful when you take that off the throttle body itself. Just be very, very careful not to break it. And the other connecting rod's here. Just make sure, like I say, use a pry bar to try and release them. Otherwise you will break them and then you will be screwed as well. You won't have a linkage for your throttle actuator and your throttle bodies. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're just going to release all these connectors on here. Now as you see, there's quite a few of them. So we're just going to lift them up and pull them out. As you see, make sure you do not mix these up. I'm putting them around there just to be on the safe side. You don't want to end up mixing any of these connectors up at all by any means by doing it, and you just want to pry it all out. You're going to have to release that banjo bolt because it looks like it's in a way, but we'll soon find out in a minute once we get this one out. These are all for the wiring, so be careful whatever you do. The wiring harness, so you can get them out quite easily as well, so there's no need to rush with them. Just don't mix them up. They should be vice versa for it. We're going to release that bolt at the top, which is right up here, which is a 10mm bolt. So we are going to just go and bolt this quickly, and we're going to sit that down safely because we don't want to lose that, so we'll put that one there. And as you see here, the wiring harness should come straight up. We are going to just release that bolt as well. Just connect it all here. So wiring harness, just holding it down. So we're just going to release all that as well. So let's just take the cover off as well. Just want to get to it. Get the wiring harness out, and there's the other connector right here that releases that one as well, which is the throttle position sensor for the throttle. There you have it. Now that's lifted up. Just put that up here. So as you see there, this is the main controller. We're going to have to just lift this, pull this wiring harness up. We're going to get a flathead screwdriver, just lift it up like that, so it can all come up. That's the wiring harness. Okay guys, so we got the throttle bodies out, as you'll see right here. This is the throttle body, this is the This was actually the bank one, which is the one that's knackered. This is the one that's actually completely gone, and this is the one that's throwing codes for. As you'll see here, this is how they look, the throttle body's on itself. As you'll see there, the date was 2005 this one was fitted. And this is what they actually look like when they come out from underneath there. That's the throttle body itself, that's the throttle actuator. And we're not going to take these off because I paid for new ones and these have got to go back under warranty. But that's what they look like. We've also got this one, which is a lot cleaner, and as you'll see there on here itself, is that this one is actually 2014. This one was actually replaced, and I knew this because I've also got a receipt showing from BMW this was replaced. So this is a new part as well, replaced by BMW in 2014. But I've took them both out just to be on the safe side because I'm going to replace them both anyway. That's what they look like, and they actually sit just underneath here. If you'll see, they sit underneath this over here. They're not very easy to access. A lot has to come off to get to them. But once you get to them, you really just got to take the linkages off, which are literally right here, and they bolt on here and onto here, and you just use a screwdriver to pop them off, and they just come off the throttle body. We are going to be cleaning out the intakes here, the throttle body intakes itself, because they are quite gunged up. So I'm going to clean them before I put everything back together. I don't want to rush this job. I want to clean it all up under here because it's been a long time, and then I'll put the new throttle bodies, I'll put the new throttle actuators back in. But for now, that's the way they come out. So you'll see, guys, I want the throttle bodies right here, and as you'll see, they're quite badly gunked up all inside as well. If you can see that, I'm not sure. So I am going to just give them a quick clean up with a carburetor cleaner, and then we're just going to put everything back and put the old throttle, the new throttle actuators back in. Like I said, these are going to the guy to be rebuilt. These are the original ones. Like I say, I've got new ones to go in, so we are putting the new ones in. But apart from that, when you do get the plenum off, you are going to probably want to give your throttle bodies just a clean because they are quite gunked up, and it just going to probably make it idle a lot better and drive a lot better as well when you press down on the throttle, and not going to be sticking, which can cause these to actually fail because they're plastic gears inside them, so you don't want them to actually crack because they're going to put too much strain on the throttles because they're sticking. So we are going to be doing that. But that's how you'd remove the throttle actuator, guys, from the S85 engine. And as I said, it wasn't a hard job. It's more fiddly, there's a lot of bolts, but that's the throttle actuators that you would be removing. So these are the new ones, guys, that I got from a company. A lot of you will probably know already who he is, who's rebuild.org. And like I say, he's well known for rebuilding these, lifetime warranty on them. We're going to go ahead and fit these that he sent to me. I'm going to be sending the old ones back to him. So obviously you have to pay a deposit as well up front before he actually sends them to you. So we're going to go ahead and refit these. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit the other one as well. We actually got two. During the process while we was off the video as well, just to let you guys know, I fitted all new ignition coils. I bought new Bremmy ones all over that side, which was over the driver's side. This side's already been done, 4 of them, so I have got another 2 which I'll be fitting. 4 of them were only recently done, that's why I didn't buy the whole 10. I did buy 7 coils, done all 5 on that side because I know they've never been changed. This side I'm going to find the other 2 and replace them as well. I need to find out what numbers weren't done on that bank, on them banks there, and I'll just replace them. But we're going to go ahead and refit this throttle actuator now. So the first thing you're going to want to do to refit it is you're just going to want to tuck it underneath here, which isn't very hard. You see, it's quite flimsy, but you just want to be able to pass it underneath, as you see, like that, and then go straight in. And as you see, it does line up on the bolts as well. You just want to line it onto the bolt, the hooks, which are what I've done now. And then these are the 10mm bolts you're going to be using right here. They're quite long, you can't miss them, and you can actually get your hand in there and just start tightening them up anyway. So we're going to do it one at a time because we don't want to rush this, because we don't want to drop one of the bolts down there. So we'll start hand tightening them. So I've got that first one in. Now we're going to go ahead and just put the other ones in, which are right here. And like I said, you cannot get them mixed up because they're all 10mm bolts, so they will go in. Now what I'm going to do is I've got my 10mm socket right here with my extension. I'm going to put my extension on there and then get back down there after and tighten them all back up once I put all the bolts on. We've got that ready to go. You're going to want to do is use your magnet, which is right here, and then you're just going to want to pull it over and in to the throttle body itself, which is what I'm going to do. And you can barely get your hand down there just to remove the magnet. Now what we're going to do is just remove it, tighten up like that. Like that. Like that. And now that one's done. So what we'll do is unplug that one back in just yet. Now what we're going to do is get the other one and put the other one in. So here's the other one, guys, that we're going to be putting in. So now we're going to go for the next one. The other one's in. So now what we're going to do is start tightening the bolts on that one as well. So here's the bolts again. We're going to want to reuse, which are right here. So we're going to start putting them in by hand. Second one in. And now you've got to think, guys, when the last trainee put the other one in, they actually used tissue. Now it's got to be a trainee because any experienced mechanic will know to use a magnet to drop them in and then screw them up. It's not hard to do that. You'll see me do that. I have no idea why they use tissue. It just doesn't, I don't know. But anyway, you know, everyone to their own, I suppose. Now what we're going to do is go around the other side and just tighten that one down. This is over here. They're all tightened down now, guys. So now, what we're going to go ahead and do now is put the throttle body linkages back on. So, we're going to clean them out for a bit. We're just going to clean all them out and then we're going to put them back on. See, guys, I'm just going to spray a bit in there and just clean it out, because they're quite gunked up and dirty. So I'll just do that while I'm here. And you can see the colour they're coming out, so I've been cleaning the throttle bodies. You know, they've got to be cleaned. People just leave them and neglected it. We just clean it all out. Now what we're going to do is put the linkage back on, which is here. Just going to put that back on here. Easiest way, spray WD-40. There we go. And they just slide straight on with these. There we go. They're all done. That's the actuator's done. So we've got them all on. Put that one on. So that's the throttle actuators back together. And as I said, guys, we did replace the coils as well. So the caps are offered on that side as well. And this side, but that's the throttle body's all done. Like I said, all you've got to do is just lift this plastic up to be able to get to them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bolt everything back up and put it all back together. So let's just do that. So remember, guys, this part right here, it's a nut, it goes on here. It's the electrical connection between the car and the Vanos units itself, so make sure you get that back right. It's a 17mm nut. And it doesn't work tight, so don't try and over tighten it, guys. Whatever you do, make sure they're done properly, because just remember, guys, you can't get back down here once you've unhooked everything. Do remember that. So don't think you'll be able to get to them from the plenum on top, so if you forget to unplug anything, it's plenum back off. Now what we're going to do is just reconnect all these. You do want to be careful putting this back on. Just goes in like that. And it screws back in there and there. So now, what we're going to want to do now is get to the coil. So I just need to remember what coils before we got everything back up that were changed, and change the ones that weren't changed on here. Okay, guys, so what was replaced is 5, 6, 8 and 10 on this. So we're going to be jumping 2 and going to 2. So what we need to do is just lift these up and take these out, which I just need to get my little pry bar here, and the way you're going to want to take them out is just pull it on the T-handle. Just pull up and out, and that's the way you get them out. So these are original, so we're going to take that out. So it's 5, 6, 8 and 10. So these are the 2 we need to take out. So we're also going to take out this one, another one that wasn't replaced. So we'll grab it through here, get it straight out like that, and that one's out as well. So we've got that one out. So just going to put them in here, replace these all. They're all brand new. As I said, I 7 of them. And as I said, we're going to just be putting them all in and using them now. So that's the new ones. We are keeping all the old ones because they still work, so they're quite good to keep for now anyway. So you want to make sure as well when you put the spark plugs in that they're in line with this gap here. They're not hard to realign as well. Just be careful of that. You put them in, make sure they're fully seated. Same for this one. And you put it in, make sure it seats properly and the seal covers the spark plug area. And then they're in and done. So they're all done as well. So we've now got them. We're going to keep them as spares, the old ones. So now we've done that. Now it's time to start getting the plenum ready and getting everything back to ready the way it was. So we are now putting back on the other plastic on this side, as you guys saw me take off. It has to go back on, which is going to do. We're just putting it all back on now. So we're going to do that. And do that one as well. And that's all back on. That's the plastics back on. We're going to put the ignition core plastics back on. Which is right here. See there, that's the ignition core cover back on. And now you see, that's the other one back on. Now we've got them all back on. Now all we need to do is just get everything back ready for the plenum, which is what we're doing. So as you see there, now everything's back together. Now we're just going to get everything ready back for the plenum, make sure all our electrical connectors are plugged in, and then we're just going to start installing all the plenum back to the S85. We've got to make sure we put these lines properly so they can go back in, and then we've got to make sure we can clamp up everything on here properly. So we're going to lube up the throttle bodies a bit so we can be able to get them on and just flatten them and then tighten them back up with these. Okay guys, so now we're going to redo the plenum, and as you'll see here there's a holding bracket where they both clip onto each other. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put silicone around these just so they go in easy. So I'm just put clear silicone all around them, just everywhere, a bit to help them ease in, and it will dry as soon as the engine's running hot anyway. It will dry, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to stay on. As you see there, that one's all done. Just want to make sure none of it got into the chambers, which it ain't. It's going to the CCB. It's not going to damage it, but it hasn't. So now what we're going to do is put that back on. We're going to want to align everything first, and as you see here, that connector right here which is on it, that one right there is for the connector at the back of the engine. As you'll see over there, that's the connectors that we need to put on. You see them over the back there. They're the ones we're going for at the back, and that clips on here. And then all the pipes in the corner over there, as you'll see, is what goes onto here, which we're going to be putting back on. So let's get it back on. You want to make sure your clamps are straight before you put it back on to lock it back up. So let's do that. And after that, you just want to make sure they're all seated properly. So we just button it back up. Okay guys, so the first plenum's on. Now, my best advice, and take my best advice for this, is to try and put this one on, hold the Jubilee clips behind it and push them upwards as high as you can to get them as high before you tighten them all down, because trust me, otherwise they're a nightmare. You're trying to lift this to tighten them up, your screwdriver won't fit, so push them up with anything you've got, a flathead screwdriver, Phillips, so the bracket comes up higher, and then tighten them and try and hold it behind you while you tighten them. It can be done, so you can get all cylinders tightened down, but it is a pain in the arse to be able to do, so just be aware of that and put this one back on. And also make sure you reconnect all your hoses as well, which I've done now. They're all reconnected. So they're all reconnected. Now we're going to go for this one and just do that one as well next. So that's the next one we're coming for. So we're going to go and put on the other plenum now. So these are the Jubilee clips that you need to just make sure you just move right up, because otherwise they're going to become a nightmare to tighten up. You just want to make sure you move them all into place. Make sure none of them are tight either, otherwise this, they won't sit on the throttle body properly. Make sure they're all loose so they can flex and get onto the throttle bodies when you put them on. Then you can tighten them all up. Now what we're going to do is lubricate these up again, put some lube on them and put them on together. And when you do, you see the clip here, which is right here at the end of the plenum. Make sure you clip it onto that one as well, so they clip onto each other. Not hard to do. You will be able to do that once you get it back on. So we're just going to lube up this one as well now. And this is a job you can do yourself at home as well. It's not very hard to do at all. It looks harder than it actually is, if I'm honest with you, on this car. Yeah, it's a frightening engine V10, but trust me, everything's easily accessible on this engine. And as I said, just be very careful underneath. Make sure you connect all your connectors, because you don't want to be removing this again once it's down. Trust me on that. So now we're going to go ahead and put this one back on. Now you want to make sure all your Jubilee clips are straight and set, ready for you to come and take it onto. So we'll just push this down here, and we're going to align it properly. And we're going to take these hoses in once it gets aligned. You see, the line all right there. Just going to align it all, make sure it's seated, which it now is. We'll cut them up there, so that's all done. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is just tighten them all down. Make sure they're all on top of the throttle body properly before you get the rest of them. And clamp the rest of them down. We're going to go over to this one. Just tighten that one down. And then that's it, guys. That's your Plenum back on. Now we're going to reinstall the airbox, coolant, and get everything back together. Okay, guys. So as you'll see here, everything is now back together. We're just going to end up starting it, making sure it runs okay, and that'll be the end of this video. As I said, this is how you'd remove the Plenum on the S85 engine. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm not going to give an intro or an ending. This was just a video showing you how to remove the Plenum and how to remove your throttle actuators as well. It's a common combination on the S85 and S65. It is actually the same for the S65, just you've got a few less clamps because you've only got 8 cylinders instead of 10. So it's going to be less for you than what it is on this. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's BMW Dr. Dean here. Thank you very much for watching. The next video you're going to see is going to be us replacing the Vanos solenoid O-rings. And I hope this is going to teach you something how to get this off on the M5. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.